Hello and welcome to the Utah Puck Reports. I'm your host, Jay Stevens. Just so excited to keep getting to know our new Utah Hockey Club players. And just acquired in a trade is defenseman John Marino. John, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Um, I was actually just talking to your media guy Jeff Sanders, and we were talking about being traded. And I have my trade experience from just the bullcrap pro hockey career I had. Uh, and it was kind of weird. I was so dumb I didn't realize I'd been traded. I walked into the locker room after a road trip, and my gear wasn't in my stall, and I just was like, "Hey, that's weird. Where's my gear?" And it never occurred to me that I'd been traded. So can you kind of tell us, did you know you were going to be traded? What was it like? And then when did Utah pop into the picture?
Yeah, so obviously different now. You got social media and everything. You can kind of follow along. Obviously there are a lot of rumors before. Utah wasn't really in the mix for the teams where I thought I was going to go. If anything, if I was going to get traded, and then wake up one morning, you get a call from your GM and says you're going to Utah, and that's pretty much the end of it.
Do you know right away when the GM calls you, you're like, "Oh, I just got traded."
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I've watched a lot of your games. I've been a Devils fan since Zach Parise played there a long time ago. I was a big Martin Brodeur fan forever. So it was fun to watch you come into that team and play um, pretty solid defensively. Do you have a preference on how you play? Are you a penalty kill guy? Are you a power play guy? Like what's your style of play?
Yeah, I'd say penalty kill for the most part. Just trying to shut down the other team's top lines. Um, Being kind of a mobile defenseman, shutdown guy, and hopefully contribute a little bit offensively as well.
Yeah, you seem to have done that pretty well over the last couple of years. You're like half a point a game guy. That's pretty amazing for a defenseman. Um, are you a real physical defender, or are you just more of a body on body and ride them out kind of guy?
Yeah, at times, but not like fighting every night or anything like that. But yeah, definitely try to be more physical and harder on their top guys.
One of the other really cool things that I want our audience to know about you is that you're a Harvard guy.
Yeah.
Tell us. I mean, you're from Massachusetts, so obviously Harvard was a possibility. But don't a lot of you guys always look at BU and BC? Like, how do you end up at Harvard?
Yeah, so they weren't really in the mix back then. Those top schools weren't getting looks for those top schools. Parents just kind of wanted me to go to an Ivy League, and obviously Harvard, being from Boston, was kind of top of the podium there.
But you weren't like a prep school guy, right? Like, you have to really pull some magic to get into Harvard.
Yeah, yeah, I think my parents did everything they could to help that out for sure. Yeah, you could say you got a little lucky, but yeah.
Well, there's no luck. Well, you know, I had a daughter that went to West Point, and I did all the stuff I was supposed to do as a parent, but there's no luck, there's no magic. That has to come from work and yeah, you got to meet the right person or whatever. But to get into a school like Harvard, did you graduate from Harvard?
Yeah,
What was your study?
psychology. I'd probably say it was one of the easiest ones there, but I also had a twin brother who went there too, and I'd say he got the brains. He helped me out a lot too.
Oh yeah, he ever go to class for you? Just pretend like he was you?
No, but he might have written a couple papers for me.
Nice. I've also had my daughter, or actually had my son, write a couple articles for me as a reporter. So I
There
totally.
you go.
So, what are your thoughts on Utah, man? Like, we're brand new to the NHL. Have you ever even been to Utah?
Yeah, no, and I was telling in my other interviews, I don't know many people that have.
You've got to have, I mean, there have been some Harvard guys come here and play for the Utah Grizzlies. I
Mhm.
can't think of any over the last couple of years, but we always seem to have Harvard and Yale guys come through here and play. But so you don't have any friends that have played here and you've never been here.
Yeah, so I actually had one buddy playing the Grizzlies, and he was telling me you're gonna love it. He told me a couple spots out in there because that's in Salt Lake City, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So he said he's gonna text me all the spots, and he was there for 2 years. He said he loved it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing area. I love it here, and I think it just has so much to offer. And the kids that are here right now, all those first round picks that are in the development camp, we brought them in the middle of summer and put them in Park City, which is just that's one of like our main ski area, and it's just
Right.
phenomenal in the summer. It's
Yeah.
just beautiful. Um, do you know anybody that's currently on this roster? Have you played with any
Yeah.
of these guys before?
Yeah. Kerfoot. I was a freshman when he was a senior. He was actually my captain at college at Harvard. So that'd be pretty cool to see him again. And then Bukestad, I played with him in Pittsburgh for a little bit of time. So a couple of guys.
Oh, that's nice. What are your thoughts when you look at the roster, and the moves that we've made, including bringing you in and Sergachev? I know you played against Arizona last year, and they were a challenging team. But what do you think of the changes we've made? How much better do you think that'll make us?
Yeah, I think it's an exciting time for the team. Obviously, with the move, they want to be a competitive team right away. So I think that's why it's going to be an exciting opportunity for everyone. But I mean, I remember early on in the season, Arizona was doing really well, and when we played them the second game of the season, I still remember, we didn't. They had the puck way more than we did. They're a fast, exciting group, and there's so much potential there. So I mean, yeah, I think the team kind of speaks for itself right now.
Have you had a chance to pull up the videos from the homecoming, if you will, our pep rally that we had at the airport or the
Yeah,
center?
yeah,
What
I've watched some of those. Yeah,
what are your thoughts on that?
yeah, it looks pretty electric. Seems like people are fired up that the team's going to be there, and I'm going to have a great group of fans. Everyone's going to be excited. It was a great welcoming. The guys were pretty fired up on stage too. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. All right, and I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. Have you seen the names, the list of names that we've had? Have other reporters already asked you this?
yeah,
All right, this is different. We're just on a podcast,
yeah,
but
yeah.
we're only talking to hockey people. This, by the way, this podcast has been going for 8 seasons here. So like it's the people that subscribe are just hockey guys. So just
Mhm.
between us hockey guys, you look at these names. Do you have a favorite?
Yeti for sure.
Yeti for sure.
Yeah,
All right, that's awesome. Because we get some pushback on Yeti because Colorado used to have, the abominable snowman, which I guess is the
right.
same thing. But yeah, Yeti's pretty cool. I'm kind of down with Mammoth and Outlaws now too. People are starting to sway me, but it seems like it was supposed to be Yeti at the beginning, and it
Hmm.
seems like that's what the kids want the most too.
Yeah.
Has your family kicked in? Have they told you what they wanted it to be called?
No, 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 no. That's a good question to ask them though. I'll ask them about it.
Yeah, let's get them all on the podcast when you get into town. We'll get the whole family in, and we'll have a long discussion about the names.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, man. Well, I know you're busy today. Normally, I like to do like a good long time and really get to know you, but I know the fans are excited about having you here. Uh, we're super excited, especially those of us that have watched what Arizona was before. We knew what changes needed to be made, and Bill kind of threw us a head fake, telling me we're going to draft a defenseman. Then he goes and drafts a couple forwards, and then trades for some key guys. And you're a key guy. We're really excited to have you. Can't wait to see what you do.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, and that is the Utah Puck Report.
Want to give a special thanks to Chipman Roofing. These are hockey people supporting the hockey community. It's Chipman Roofing. For all your roofing needs, just check out chipmanroofing.com. And if you like what you hear on the podcast, please leave a review, leave a rating. Wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure you give us a rating. Like to check out kslsports.com as well. There's going to be more hockey on there. As more hockey comes up, it's going to be always right there, kslsports.com. Big thanks to Madison Miller for putting up with us and making this thing work.